So we are here at Retromobile because Retromobile is the official vintage car show in France, and as we have an enormous legacy and we are French, we have to be here. So here in Retromobile we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of the GS. And the story of the Scarab is unique in the history of Citroën.
Golden Scarab was the first car that ever crossed the Sahara Desert. It was the first car made by Citroën that was able to cross a continent. So this was an incredible human and technical adventure and history. The rebuild process of Golden Scarab started in 2016. It took 3 years to make this car.
So when Olivier Mazy, the coordinator of the project, came to me, he said, Arno, could be great if we do something with this. And I said, let's do the cruise again. So we will do it in 222, 223, but we will do it in a modern way. We will go with 2 replicas of this. We will go with 5 current car full electric, and we will go with a crazy project, which is to put on the same track a concept car full electric. So we will do exactly the same journey from Touggourt to Timbuktu, so it's going to be a fantastic project. GS has been an enormous success for Citroën, and as this car is a kind of icon of the 70s, 80s, we've chosen a place in Paris which is the icon of the late 70s, 80s, which was called Les Bains, and Les Bains became now a luxury hotel. So we've partnered with the hotel and we made GS Les Bains. The designer of the hotel is Tristan Walk. He has redesigned all the interior of the GS.
So the Citroën that you see behind you, it's a custom one. So it never exists the way you can see it. The interior is fully made to measure by me. And my involvement in the fresh design was to select all the new materials that I put in this car, which is linked to the period that it was issued. It was 1970s and still very, very modern, but so well designed and so comfortable, as you can see.
And the GS, it is a car for everybody, a very comfortable car, because it was quite a success in the 70s. We are a special brand, you know. We have a lot of different models which were very famous in the story of the brand. And so we have always many things to say here, many things to show. This year the GS and the B2 Auto Chenille. Last year it was the century of the brand. Next year, sure, we will find another nice car to show. So it's important to come here and to launch the 2020 season.
Citroën.
So we are in Retromobile, Paris. This is the edition 2020, and this is the opening date of this incredible show. And we are on the booth of Citroën, and we are located right here, next to Scarab d'Or, which is a Golden Scarab. And this is a great place, and I invite all the people to come and to visit us. Our association, named Des Voitures et des Hommes, which is a non-profit association, conducted this project and started it in 2015 and decided to mobilize students of professional schools and technical schools in order to have this car rebuilt and reconstructed in order, again, to show high skills and professional education around old vehicles and vintage vehicles. Well, Golden Scarab was the first car that ever crossed the Sahara Desert. In real, it was the first car made by Citroën that was able to cross a continent, and it was the first time in the history of automotive industry that people had at their disposal a tool, a vehicle able to go through such a long distance. So this was an incredible human and technical adventure and history to do this epopee, this adventure again in 1922. The rebuild process started in 2016. We decided to mobilize 2 types of schools because we wanted to have schools working on these projects and students. It was very essential for us. 2 types of school. The first one was a technical high school named Château des Pluches, Lycée Château des Pluches, located near Paris. And the second one is the famous and the oldest school of engineers in France named Arts et Métiers. So they work together, just like in the real life. They spend in total 50,000 hours of work, located over 11 places all over in France of constructions, because you have many campuses mobilized on this project. And 160 students worked hard, very hard during 3 years, accompanied with 40 teachers during this period of time. The rebuild process of Golden Scarab started in 2016. It took 3 years to make this car.
So the Citroën that you see behind you, it's a custom one. So it never exists the way you can see it. The interior is fully made to measure by me, by my brand, Car Tailoring. And it's a popular car. So it was sold as 2,050,000, so it's a lot, popular car, but so well designed and so comfortable, as you can see. So my involvement in the fresh design was to select all the new materials that I put in this car, which is linked to the period that it was issued. It was 1970s and still very, very modern. And we are talking about as well another brand, which is Hotel Les Bains. And so this car will be the courtoisie car of this hotel to take their client and go around Paris. So it's telling the story of Citroën, myself, and this hotel. So this car, after Retromobile, will go to this hotel, iconic hotel, which is Les Bains, which was a very famous nightclub in the 70s. And it will use that vehicle de courtoisie to maybe interview some fantastic people, some DJs, and so it's not a museum piece. It's a car which will be used in real life, in our life in 2020, to celebrate Citroën and Les Bains as well. For me, working for Citroën is a big responsibility because this car belongs to everybody. It's not me at all. So I need to be very careful to put it up on the hills and celebrate it. Because this car was issued at more than 2 million examples. So it talks to so many people in the inconscious memory. So it's an honor for me. For this reason, and as well because it's linked today to another car, which is a Scarab, which is the start of another story.
Welcome to Retromobile 2020, and for Citroën this year we are proud to present GS. It is the 50 years of the GS, and also the B2 Auto Chenille, which made the famous raid in Africa in 22-23. It means nearly 1 century ago. So two nice cars, two different cars, the story of Citroën, because I would say the B2 Auto Chenille is nearly a concept car for adventure, and the GS, it is a car for everybody, a very comfortable car for everybody on every road, in France, in Europe, I would say nearly all over the world, because it was quite a success in the 70s. Well, it's important to be here because Retromobile is a big show. The first one, I would say, in Europe for the vintage area, and a lot of people are coming here. And we are a special brand, you know. We have a lot of different models which were very famous in the story of the brand. And so we have always many things to say here, many things to show. And this year the GS and the B2 Auto Chenille. Last year it was the century of the brand. Next year, sure, we will find another nice car to show. So it's important to come here and to, I would say, to launch the 2020 season. In fact, the GS, it was a car which appeared 50 years ago. It was like a bet of the brand to make a very comfortable car for everybody, a middle range car with a famous hydraulic suspension. And the goal of Citroën was to have the most comfortable car at this moment. And they succeeded, in fact, because the car was, I would say, well on different roads and very easy to drive. comfortable, very quiet inside, and also I would say for everybody, and very reliable also. It was between the 2CV and the DS, and it takes the best of these two nice cars also. So the GS was a big success, and the first car, after the 2CV, we overpassed 2,000 million cars produced, so it's a success.
So we are here at Retromobile because Retromobile is the official vintage car show in France. That's the biggest one. And as we have an enormous legacy and we are French, we have to be here. So Retromobile is a very important show. Last year we made the kickoff of the centenary. And this year that's the kickoff of a new centenary. So that's a good reason to be here. So here in Retromobile we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of the GS. GS has been an enormous success for Citroën. We have sold 2.5 million units during the life cycle. The car is born in 1970 and was a European Car of the Year in 1971. So for the anniversary we wanted to celebrate. And as this car is a kind of icon of the 70s, 80s, we've chosen a place in Paris which is the icon of the late 70s, 80s, which was the best dance floor in Paris called Les Bains. It's like Club 54 in New York. And Les Bains became now a luxury hotel. So we've partnered with the hotel and we made GS Les Bains. The designer of the hotel is Tristan Ouargala. Tristan Ouargala is a great French designer and he has redesigned all the interior of the GS, and all the exterior has been refreshed, massively refreshed by Le Conservatoire people. The history of the Scarab is unique in the history of Citroën. That's the first car who made the first cruise in 1922, 1923. There were 5 cars like that. So this one has been rebuilt by students. There is 60,000 hours of work, 1.5 tons of steel, and it has been an enormous work during 3 years, from 2016 to 2019. So when Olivier Mazy, the coordinator of the project, came to me, Olivier is a great fan of the brand, he's a lawyer, and he came to me, he said, Arno, it could be great if we do something with this. And I said, let's do the cruise again. So we will do it in 222, 223, but we will do it in a modern way. We will go with 2 replicas of this. We will go with 5 current car full electric that have nothing to do with that. And we will go with a crazy project, which is to put on the same track a concept car full electric. So we will do exactly the same journey from Touggourt to Timbuktu. So it's going to be great. It's going to be a fantastic project.